are you of the thought that even brothers like King Simon was aware of these crazy acts?
They had to be aware. I mean, I had sisters that were as young as 12 years old that had babies, so that's gotten pregnant. And that was during Ansar Law community days. There were young girls that were running away during Ansar Law community days at the ages of 14 and 15 years old. So they're totally aware of whatever was happening. And I'm sure a lot of us.
I think Simon is that she said that you was her spiritual,
because I knew her since she was a child. Because I knew her since I was a child.
And so, I mean,
remember, we used to bodyguard though. We used to protect the children's bait and the women's bait. We had to do security overnight for them.
This is what I want to say. If to play angel's advocate, if she, because I ain't gonna play advocate for the devil, I don't got time. But to play angel's advocate, if she says that you are her spiritual uncle. Or right. Was it spiritual uncle?
Spiritual uncle. Because there's a lot of brothers that was in the community that was protective of the children back in those days.
If she says that you were her spiritual uncle and she see that you are promoting, even a few years later, someone that tried to take her life, isn't that reasonable that she should feel some type of way?
No. That's what I said. That's her perspective. Again. But if this man went to court, got locked up, and then was brought back out of court and was exonerated or vindicated through the courts, that means something ain't pan out right.
According to her, they in some way they took them in for questioning, but right. They would not cooperate because they was groomed not to cooperate with the authorities. And without their cooperation, they let them out. You follow what I'm saying? And so when things like that happen in our community, I think it would be imperative for us to hear both sides of the story. Just because the authorities let you out don't mean you're not guilty. We see that all the time. And so I'm just saying, being an angel's advocate, I'm just saying that I think she has justification to feel the way that she do if you are, one, her spiritual uncle, two, you're raising someone up and supporting them because of their work ethic, which is a noble thing. Right. But she's from the advantage point that this guy got to kill me, and my spiritual uncle is raising him to some sort of stardom.
And again, it wasn't about me raising polite. He opened up for all the major lecturers. Delbert Blair was the ones I was focused on. Phil Valentine is who I was focused on. Ashwa Kwesi, who I paid and focused on. Those were the ones that Ray Hagins, those are the ones I focused on. Dr. Africa, those are the ones that focused on. He paid himself through his food and his book.
Let me ask you this. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I want to mention something before you do so, though. Okay, I want to mention, because I just got off the phone with my brother, and what he said was he said specifically it was Simon that he spoke to, and that he spoke to Simon about the situation. He said I thought it was. He said I got the name mixed up. He said, but it's not Sinetta. He said it's just that Sinetta was highlighted a lot. And stuff like that. So it wasn't Sinetta, it was King Simon that he said he mentioned it to over and over to, and Simon did nothing about it.
So let me say that. Just like this community, they begin to protect Polite, and no one would ever address that he tried to kill her and her stepbrother.
No, that's not true, brother. It's not that people don't address. People ask the question. He spoke about it numerous times about his story with that old
nobody. What I'm saying, nobody addressed it in her defense to see if she was all right. To see how did she feel about being her life was attempted murdered. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about Polite's speaking on it. We're talking about no one, according to her, no one came to her defense, and no one even cared about where she stood on the measure.
You know what's so interesting, brother? That's why you got to fill in blanks. Even, again, we love that sister. She's born, again, like I said last time about those number threes. She's born on the 3rd of the month, and they love this drama. They love the hype. They like the energy. I spoke about this again. And she's born, I'm not going to tell you what month she's born, but she's born under that 3 energy. And that 3 energy love that reckless talk and that scandal and all that stuff. They like the limelight. Cool. Even in her history, she's called cops on everyone, even on her own family and siblings. So this is something ongoing here with some of her own family. So if people pushed her to the side because she kept on doing certain reckless things, even to her own family, Polite according to him, got exonerated from that court system. What am I supposed to go and check out? I don't check out people. I got things to do. I've got multiple streams of income. I got no time to be playing games with people. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this before Polite, and think about it. Both her and Polite is born 1983. I got my shahada in 84. They was 1-2 years old when I was doing this. So I've been doing consciousness or that stuff before they was born. That situation took place in 2007, 2006. I had no involvement with Polite. I don't know him. I didn't meet him until 2009. I know nothing about that until later. Oh, nothing. See that timeline, chronology has to be put in place. And then remember cause and effect. What caused them to get into that beef? What makes
her story is that nobody was paying the bills. She was living there, and they were supposed to have a meeting. And I don't know the greater details of what
exactly.
But somebody has to show up with a gun because Polite said he called the meeting, though.
Right, but exactly. But nobody knows except those people. I don't.
Polite called the meeting, but
I wasn't. But think, Mo, I'm not there. I wasn't there.
I'm just saying.
I'm not part of that.
From her vantage point,
right.
Polite calls the meeting, and it fits both sides. It was to address the utilities. Polite give a story around something about the house, but he doesn't go into great detail. And she says about taking care of the maintenance and the utility of the house. And Polite says he calls the meeting, but then whether it was Polite or those on his team shows up with a pistol.
That I don't know. I don't know that part. I wasn't there. I don't know that. Like I said, I'm getting bits and pieces of the story.
But you said that you heard Polite tell the story.
Yeah, he's told it numerous times on stage.
What I'm saying is we can surmise that somebody showed up with a gun on Polite's side and somebody was shot. We can
surmise that. Definitely surmise that.
Now, the point is if that happened in 2007 and y'all heard about it, or the conscious community heard about it in 2009, her I think our problem is that even from 2007 to 2009 and beyond, no one addressed it, that someone tried to kill her and her brother. That's her problem. I think that's what we have to underscore.
And that's valid from her perspective again. Because if you talk to family members around her, they have other perspective. I'm not going to get into that because that's family business.
And that's all we know is her perspective that she got blood on her. She got blood on her from her stepbrother being shot. Polite gets taken into custody. The neighbor says the guy threw the clothes in the trash can, and then
all of that
goes away. And her rationale, for the audience that don't know, her rationale was they've been groomed not to even deal with the authorities. They were young and they had been groomed
for the community.
Not to even deal with the authorities. And so at that age, they kind of just chalked it up and was hoping that the community would respond to this situation, but they left her high and dry.
But what's so funny about that, though, Polite was also able to come back to that community probably a few years later and do a full lecture there. Still in that same bookstore. And I think I ran into her at that time and we hugged each other and she kept it moving and doing her thing. But again, with family.
My mother personally, and even the night, that day that we did that interview, that you had a class with Dr. Sabi, me, my mother, and my brother all came to that class to talk to you. But instead, you wanted to act like a celebrity that day and act like you told us I will talk to y'all, and you never spoke to us. You never spoke to us.
Because I was busy. I'm busy having Sabi's business.
We're supposedly your spiritual family, no matter what.
Y'all
have no loyalty. Y'all have no loyalty. It's no loyalty amongst any thieves. That's something I realized in life as I got older. You get what I'm saying? Y'all have no loyalty. That's the reality of it. You know, we really were trying to talk to you about something that was very serious.
May I speak? Okay.
I wasn't finished. I was not finished. Okay. When I'm finished. Like I said, we were trying to speak to you about something that was very important in regards to the shooting, and you literally disregarded us. Now, go ahead. You can continue.
If you came to Dr. Sabi's lecture that him and I produced, Dr. Sabi and I produced this lecture, I was busy all through that day, period. All through it. Now, y'all could have called me and we would have met somewhere and sat and talked about it, but not at a Dr. Sabi event. It was packed. You was there. It was at the church.
That's the point. If a child is in danger and she fear for her life, the only way I'm going to talk to y'all is if it's in a packed room full of other evidence, other people to see if anything happened. The reality of it is, if this man, including Polite, was still at the location, you know what I'm saying? If I feared for my life, the only way I'm going to come around is if I got a whole bunch of people to watch and see what the hell going on. Because at this point, I don't trust nobody.
And but think about what you're saying. Think about what you're saying.
I can't even trust my own uncle. I couldn't trust my own aunt. Couldn't trust my own brother, my own sister. Are you serious? Y'all ignored me. Y'all just ignored me. To me, and even if I would have died that day, y'all wouldn't have cared at all. Y'all wouldn't have cared. And I know y'all wouldn't have cared. And I'm clear on that. I'm very clear.
You talking die at what day? When that shooting took place?
Yeah, when Polite tried to kill me that day. Yes.
Again, in 2007, I know nothing about that. Knew nothing about it.
You know, you knew about it. Y'all all
knew about it. Why you gonna try to throw me? I was busy in the reggae world doing my thing and doing promotion. How would I know anything about what's going on in that community? After I left that community in 88, I had nothing really to do with that, other than your mother making clothes for me. Your mother made clothes for me for my reggae. She knew I was a reggae artist. I was doing reggae music. So I wasn't part of that community over there. I don't know none of that stuff until, like I said in the text that I sent you, and I made sure I sent you, it was bits and pieces. And Polite said his story. I only got bits and pieces. This is the most I got from you in conversation over the phone or in my face.
And you never thought to say to yourself, let me hear what Khair had to say? Since I knew her since she was a child, you didn't care to say, let me hear what she had to say?
You was 24 when that happened with you and Polite, right? Was it right? Now, and you just said you came to me at a packed place with 500 people with Dr. Sabi to come talk to me when your mother has my number and you can get my number and we could talk privately without Polite and nobody, and then I could find out more? You could have called me.
Hollywood,
but it's the drama that you like. You like drama, and that's cool. You can like drama all you want. It's
but hold up, sister Uma. But her life was attempted to be taken. I don't think that's like a drama. I mean,
I'm talking about. Hold on, Tarak. I'm talking about her coming to a big event that me and Sabi produced.
Right.
Sabi and I produced that event. I was busy handling his products. I was handling the door. I was handling everything in there. Everything.
Let me ask you this, King Simon. Was you a true spiritual uncle, or was that just a title that was given with no substance? Because if you are a true spiritual uncle, everything.
That's a title she threw out there just last week. We've been friends. I've been a friend with her mother for years, and everybody in the community is considered a protector of those people. Remember, she was born in 83. I joined the community in 83.
Hold up, Brother Simon. Earlier, you did say that yes, I was her spiritual uncle because I've known her since she was a baby.
Because I know as a child.
So that's what I'm asking. So that's what I'm asking you. Not what she said. I'm asking you. Okay. Was that a title with some essence and principle, or was it a title of no substance? Because if it's a title of with essence and principle, it just seemed logical that if she shows up at an event with 1 million people, she deserved the attention because she's been victimized and she wants some answers, whether it's a year later, 2 years later, or 3 years later. You know what I'm saying?
It's a title with substance because every brother in that community can be considered a spiritual uncle. People like Wali could have been a spiritual uncle. People like Suleiman could have been a spiritual uncle. Who they were, because they all seen this girl come into this realm. Now, coming at an event like that, and coming at an event like that without even contacting me first. Okay, can I speak?
Hold on, let her speak. Give her a minute to speak, and then I'm gonna let you speak. And Sinetta just came in the building. I don't want to turn this into
bring him in.
No. I just don't want to turn this into a circus. So we're going to have to respect everybody and everybody speak one at a time. I'm telling you now, everybody know that I'm for the person that was victimized. And I think you would agree that she was victimized. However, I'm not going to be biased and lose perspective of the role you may have played in this relationship. You know what I'm saying? But the perspective is that if you are her spiritual uncle, and it's a title of substance, no matter what's going on, I would say that you respond. But that's me, and I get it. You're a businessman. You know what I mean? You got to pay your bills. I get that part too. But so let hold on.
Like I said, at Sabi's lecture, they could have called me before that lecture happened. Could have called me after. We could have set that up. I got no problem setting up meetings and talking to people. Got no problems to find out what's the truth about what's going on. Because I didn't get all it. Like I said, I've been getting bits and pieces all this time up to this day. I'm still getting bits and pieces. Still getting bits and pieces.
Right.
What's up?
Now, sister Uma York, we got Sinetta in the building. I'm gonna let you flow real quick, and then I'm gonna open it to Sinetta, and then hopefully we can close out with some closure right here. That would be nice. The authorities, because Uma had mentioned to me that they had been groomed. People like, well, where's the police? Where's the police? She said they had been groomed not to talk to the police. So these people that's saying that, why don't you go to the police? Why don't you go to the police? Well, the police got involved, but they were ultimately groomed not to deal with the police. And you would have to be in that type of environment to understand. So you can't blame sis.
Yeah, if the police came down on us when we was in the Ansars, then there would be a captain that will confront the police officer and deal with what was going on in the community. If police was called. I do remember that from back in the 80s. Right. I remember that.
And I also
I got called all kinds of snitches and stuff like that just for even calling the cops for polite while my brother was leaking on the goddamn floor. So excuse my language. So people attack me consistently just for even calling ambulance, police, just to have that going on in the house. Now, and even my own brothers and sisters, down to my own family. You know what I'm saying? I've been harassed throughout my entire family with this situation, and I've tried my best to just keep a certain composure, even up until this day. You know what I'm saying? I get called and spoken about, because of this interview and stuff like that, being harassed up until this day, getting a call the same time you sent me a text message at 4:00 in the morning is the same time I get somebody harassing me from California. You get
But are you of the thought that even brothers like King Simon was aware of these crazy acts?
They had to be aware. I mean, I had sisters that were as young as 12 years old that had babies, that's gotten pregnant. And that was during Ansar Law community days. There were young girls that were running away during Ansar Law community days at the ages of 14 and 15 years old. So they're totally aware of whatever was happening. And I'm sure a lot of other people were aware of it as well. And the reality of it is the Nubian nation still harbors harbors these pedophiles, and that's a fact. A lot of people are aware of it. They could try to brush it up under the rug all they want, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to start adding up people's kids' ages, and you start looking at the ages of what they are right now. It doesn't take, trust me, I did the math myself on plenty of people, and I'm not going to say no names because, you know, once again, these people are in my family, you know, so
let me underscore that. I told people when they was trying to say, well, what about the family? What about this? I said the sister don't hold back, but y'all haven't heard the story yet. The sister don't hold back. So, and she just said, and Simon, as I told you earlier, that she mentions everything.
I know Uma says what she means and mean what she says, and like I said, I respect that.
And I know it's other sides that's good. Let me say this to Sister Uma. I told Sister Uma today, I say, sis, you know there are going to be other sides that's going to come out, and they're going to want to respond. And
these people have been harassing me my entire life. I don't care.
Also, what you said to me is like, this is my story. It is what it is. I'm just going to tell it how it is.
Can I ask Uma a question? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Have I ever harassed you?
Have you ever harassed me?
Yes.
I mean, to be honest with you, no, you've never harassed me, but didn't protect me as my quote-unquote spiritual uncle. Yeah. You didn't even care to hear my story, so that's just as bad. You literally highlighted this person that traumatized me, so you just as bad as the person committing the crime to me.
Like I said, before you came on, your uncle co-signed him, and a reverend co-signed him in 2009. That's why he was put on Sadie's stage. Yeah, that's why he helped promote me. He helped promote the event also. He put in that type of work. That's what I respected for him. That's all I respected of him and his family. That's all I respected of that much of his family.
Yeah, so you basically did it off the strength of my uncle, not my father, huh?
No. It's two elders that came to me to put him on.
I don't know the other elder. We're speaking about my uncle.
Your father, I don't know what his relationship was with Polite at all.
He didn't have a relationship with Polite at all. He don't know him.
Now, according to Polite, and he has written books and have your father's handwriting in the book that he has been writing him, your father. That's according to Polite,
and
not me.
I've been telling people for years that people have been Adobe Photoshopping picture letters and all of this stuff for years. You think people have been creating their own letters for years saying my father said. My father, when you look up his court case, he cannot conduct any business at all. So that means that anything being said after he was locked up is null and void.
Now, I don't know none of that.
But this is a fact. All you had to do was research in the FBI database. Call the prison where he's at, because I was calling them all the time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So people were making shit up. Sister Sakina making shit up. My father told the last words my father said to people was, leave Bushwick alone. And the first thing them people did was come run and storm the Bushwick. And the reason why he said leave Bushwick alone, because I was there. But nobody cared about that. All y'all did was come and attack his child. That's it. And my father been trying to protect me ever since my sister shipped me.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
To whatever, I want to apologize to you for whatever had transpired over the years. Honestly, because like I said, I only got bits and pieces of this. And if you felt that I was not adhering to enough and listening to y'all enough, that was just what happened during that time. But I do apologize for whatever hurt you've been through, because a lot of us moved into that.